Welcome here to race 6 of 25 here in the MRN CS.
Start your engines.
As the command has been given, now here is your starting lineup. As Kyle Busch has gotten on the pole again with a 94.477 mile per hour lap time. Trevor Bayne qualifying in the top 10 once again. Jimmie Johnson may be going for a repeat victory. We know how good he is at Martinsville. He qualified 9th. AJ Allmendinger also surprisingly qualifying inside the top 15. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson, who has worked his way into the top 16 in points, has fallen all the way back to 28th. And meanwhile, Richard Childress continues to struggle. Paul Menard and Austin Dillon qualifying outside of the top 30. Although Ryan Newman has qualified 2nd. He's going to try to get his first good finish of the year, being as low as 38th in points. Green flag is out and we're on our way here from Martinsville. Kyle Busch trying to jump out to a decisive advantage as he gets a huge run on the inside lane rather. Yeah, the inside lane. It's actually a pretty good crisscross lane that you can use for overtaking, so that lane does exist. Meanwhile, there is a ticker in the upper right hand corner. I am no longer bothering with producing the ticker down below because it takes just too long to produce. Meanwhile, Kasey Kahne still trying to get around Ryan Newman as Newman is giving him a fit right now. And now Matt Kenseth going to try to do some things. And now, this isn't the first time that we've seen 2 Joe Gibbs cars inside the top 3 in standings. Meanwhile, points leader Martin Truex Jr., he continues to be a little bit further back than he would like. Trevor Bayne is on the outside fringes of the top 10 as well. Right now, Carl Edwards trying to break free into 5th, and there's Martin Truex Jr. again on the outer fringes of the top 10. He would love to defend his points lead, especially for that Furniture Row Chevrolet. That is a big money car. Big, big car. Truex is now underneath the 2, and he's going to more than likely take that position. Kyle Busch continues to lead and is actually starting to pull away from Kasey Kahne and teammate Matt Kenseth. Crossing the line, this is now lap 6 of this 125 lap battle. Martin Truex Jr. currently on the outside fringes of the top 10. Jimmie Johnson also up there inside the top 10. And here comes Denny Hamlin. Somebody who would like to get the points lead back, I imagine. He's currently 2nd in points. We also have the 92 on the outer fringes of the top 15. He is currently in 3rd in points. And here comes Truex. He's trying to get his way around that 48 machine. Just can't seem to just clear them all away. Ryan Newman continues to run very impressively as he is currently in 4th, as he's just been bitten by bad luck all season long. It's awful how bad luck that 31 car has had, but it seems like fortunes have turned a little bit towards his favor as the 31 continues to be inside the top 5. Meanwhile, here's Denny Hamlin. He's worked his way into the top 10, and here is Devon Williams getting on the inside of Clint Bowyer. That is going to be for the 11th position. And the 92 would love to get another top 10 as well and continue the impressive rookie charge that he's been doing so far with his new team, Evolution Autosports. Meanwhile, here on lap 10 of the race, Kyle Busch already has an over 5-second lead over people that are outside of the top 10. So that 18 car is clearly flying right now. Probably about a 1-second gap between him and Kahne right now. The biggest gap seemingly existing between the 31 and the 24. Here's the whole field passing us by now. We'll see how long it takes for the 18 to come up on the screen here. And not that long. And there's the huge gap between the 31 and the 24, and a pretty sizable gap between the 24 and the 99 as well. Denny Hamlin getting on the inside of Martin Truex Jr. That's pretty big points implications there. And things getting a little dicey in the back of the pack, but nothing to be concerned about for the moment. Now Kyle Busch comes off of 2. And you can see now Kasey Kahne. Sorry for my terrible broadcasting skills, by the way. I'm just god-awful right now. Meanwhile, we skip to the first caution here on lap 22. Austin Dillon continuing the terrible season for Richard Childress. He is stopped on the front of the track. That'll bring out the first caution of the afternoon. Meanwhile, yellow flag pit stops happen. The 5 gets in, the 31 gets in, the 24 gets in. And the 18, by virtue of lap traffic, really gets in before anybody else and is able to get out before anybody else, obviously. The 21 now just pulling in as he really drops back. Matt Kenseth will come out second, Kahne third, Gordon fourth, Johnson fifth, Newman sixth. Here's Denny Hamlin 7th, Edwards 8th, Truex 9th, and Logano 10th. Now, Johnson on the restart would end up soaring into the second position as he would get by the 24, the 5, and the 20 pretty much all in the same run, as Jimmie Johnson really wants to have back-to-back victories and become the second repeat winner of this season. Though the 3 starting to slow him up a little bit. Meanwhile, Brad Keselowski on lap 35 will take a top 5 position away from Denny Hamlin as he looks to have his first win of the season. Fast forwarding now, as the battle for 5th would continue to heat up, Denny Hamlin would say, you know what, I'm just going to take that position right back as all 3 Gibbs cars look surprisingly strong. On lap 42, Kevin Harvick, a driver that we haven't talked about much since the first couple of races this season, he's back into the top 5, and then Kahne takes position right back from him on lap 46. Continuing on with the battle for top 5, 3 laps later, Hamlin moves into the 5th position as that epic battle continues. Now, Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. here finds himself inside the top 10. And the overlays are not doing very well right now, as that is Williams getting into the top 10, and this is caution 2. This is not the 3rd caution, but Michael McDowell blowing up, holding up a bunch of traffic. Surprisingly, no wrecks happening. Meanwhile, yellow flag pit stops would happen. Again, I'm not sure what caused that overlay failure, but it was certainly some type of major problem that hopefully gets fixed in some way or another. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch is out. Jimmie Johnson comes around. He will be in 2nd. Jeff Gordon 3rd. Denny Hamlin 4th. Brad Keselowski 5th. Newman 6th. Kahne 7th. Truex 8th. Edwards 9th. Williams 10th. Meanwhile, here's the 4th caution of the day, and this has big championship implications, as the 78 would get involved and the 43 nearly getting overturned. 78, of course, being the points leader. Here we go on board from Martin Truex Jr. as Landon Castle just plows into the 43 and effectively plows into him. However, the 92 gets a really lucky run here as the entire wreck happens in front of him, yet does not get involved somehow. He must have ate his lucky charms. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin starts charging through the field. He wants to significantly capitalize on Truex Jr.'s mistake. And on lap 88, after Kyle Busch dominates his 3rd race of this season, Denny Hamlin takes the lead, and then caution 5 on lap 92, I end up hitting the wall because I slid. And then now Reed Sorensen gets into a flurry of incidents as lap 99. The 6th caution the race would come out. And then on lap 113, it would take a while for anything to happen. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., despite having a bruised car, moves into the top 10. But of course, Joey Logano says, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you're far past your prime. Get behind me. Now for the final 5 laps of this race as Denny Hamlin is just dominating by 3.1 seconds. And another 3 seconds behind Jimmie Johnson would be 3rd place Kyle Busch. So Kyle Busch isn't even in 2nd place anymore. And here's Kasey Kahne, and then we have Carl Edwards, another very bruised, battered, beat-up car. A lot of beat-up cars here at Martinsville, as you would expect from this half-mile hairpin turn, whatever you want to call it. A lot of bruised, battered, beat-up, carnage, you name it. The 43 getting into the pit road. Again, no surprise here. Surprisingly, a low amount of retirees. 36 cars. Looks like 36 cars are going to finish this race unless the 43 just pulled into the pits to retire. Denny Hamlin's now just 2 laps away for winning his first race of this season and more than likely taking a significant points lead. He just needs to make it past pretty much 3 more hairpin turns and he's A-OK. I think Johnson's not going to catch him. And the 92 is all the way back in 18th. So he will have a very sizable points advantage going into Talladega next week. Lap 125 and 125. White flags out. Denny Hamlin grounds turn 3. Comes off turn 4. Denny Hamlin finally wins his first race and will take the points lead here at Martinsville. For more detailed description of the point standings are in the description of this video. Here are your final results. This has been Mythic. Of course, wanting you to watch my videos more, but I also don't care. I'll see you at Tally.